Hey everybody, Wrights Crispy here. This next video comes to us from a channel called Dovydas. He has over 1 million subscribers. He's a talented musician who travels around the country to different venues. I'll have a link in the description with upcoming dates. And he has some really cool street performances where he interacts with the crowd. He even got some requests from cops. Some of them requested him to play Jimi Hendrix. Some of them requested him to stop playing. I would have asked if it was a lawful order, but I would have complied with the Jimi Hendrix. Music is a universal language, and as the American writer Kurt Vonnegut said, "If I should ever die, God forbid, let this be my epitaph." The only proof he needed for the existence of God was music. In this video, you'll see Dovydas setting up for a show when town manager approaches and attempts to be a Karen and gets put in check almost immediately. But it's in a nice way, and it still takes him about 20 minutes to register and acknowledge this man's First Amendment rights. I conducted a phone interview with earlier this morning, and I'll be playing that interview later on in the video.
Hey guys, appreciate y'all's help with the gentleman.
Sure.
I hate to do this, but y'all can't do this. You can get a permit to do it, but you've got to get a permit.
Are you sure? Because we've been through this before, and we're told that there's no permit needed for busking, which is freedom of speech, of artistic expression.
Alright, I want to pause it right here to acknowledge how this woman really knows her rights, and she puts this town manager in check right away.
Our town ordinance requires people to get a permit that are doing that type of thing, so we know who's doing it, where they're doing it, and when they're doing it. And so it doesn't prohibit you from doing it, it just requires you to go through the process to get permission to do it.
How long does one become a town manager for?
Well, I've been here 10 and a half years.
Okay.
You're a town manager until you get fired. Or
Gotcha,
they decide
gotcha.
to
So
have somebody else do it.
you'll be the contact for the next year for sure.
Absolutely, and if not, the police department.
Right.
It's the police department's who issues the permits.
Gotcha.
So they would be.
Like a special sound permit or like an event permit, or does it specify sort of like a musician permit?
Honestly, I don't know the name of it. I'm looking here to see what it's, but it relates to street music.
Alright, the word of the day is busking. The activity of playing music in the street or another public place for voluntary donation. Voluntary donation. That means they were not soliciting. If you hear some beautiful music and you feel inspired to donate, that's totally legal on both sides.
Words not used, but basically street music, vendors, solicitation, panhandling, different types of activities that happen along the sidewalk or in public space.
I mean, I'm looking, but I just know what the law says, so...
Maybe, so it's section 114.
Okay, I'm not a lawyer and this is not legal advice. I did read the Code of Ordinance 114.03, Scope of Permitted Activity, subsection A, a permit is required. It shall be a violation of this chapter for any person to solicit for personal gain upon the streets or any other public property, or upon private property without the permission of the owner, proprietor, or person in control of said private property without first obtaining a permit from the police department. In subsection C of that same chapter, 114.03, exempt activity. This chapter shall not apply to transactions between family members or mutual acquaintances, or any matter that is not soliciting, as defined in 114.01 of this chapter. 114.01 definition of solicit is in-person use of the spoken, written, or printed word, or other acts conducted with the purpose of selling or offering for sale goods or services, or collecting contribution of money or goods.
Oftentimes, like in other cities where I've encountered,
Yeah.
city codes and ordinances, they'll like pull it up.
Yeah.
And
they
the
realize
language
that
does
we're
not
not
apply.
breaking the law.
Sure. Well, and I guess, and this could certainly be arguable that citation of this chapter for any person to solicit personal gain or upon the streets or any public property or upon private property without permission of the owner, proprietor, person in control of said property, yada yada, must first obtain a permit. The issuance of the permit shall not.
And that's all in 114 because I'm still trying to get to it.
It is, and so I guess there's a legal argument, you know.
It doesn't apply to it.
Right.
Well,
and I guess what I'm going to say now is I'm not going to argue the point that you're not soliciting, or that you are, and then play music for a little while.
This is where his power-tripping ego kicks in. He says maybe next time you come into town, you can ask permission to exercise your rights.
Okay. Maybe next time you come into town, we can discuss it before you do it.
If you could just go ahead and make sure you do that from now on, that would be
Well, y'all
would be great.
We'll just go from there.
cool.
Hello, this is Rick.
Hey, good morning, Rick. This call's being recorded. My name's Finn with Bang, the Bolt Action News Group. And I was calling because I'm working on a story and I wanted to have your input, if that's okay.
Well, I'd love to hear more about what it is that you need.
Sure, recently I discovered a video of an encounter with you and a musician in the Central Park there.
Yes, sir.
Now, I was just wondering, when you walked up to the gentleman, what were you thinking?
It appeared that he might be looking to solicit for money for his playing in public. And so we were having a discussion about solicitation and whether what he was doing was solicitation or not.
Okay, and did he have a tip jar out or something? What made it appear like that?
He did not. He was just setting up. When I approached him, I didn't see any reason to let him set up if that's what he was going to do. So I wanted to give him a heads up of what the town's ordinance was about solicitation. And once we talked about it and discussed what he was doing exactly, solicitation was not his intention, then he proceeded to play.
Yeah, I saw it took about 20 minutes to come to that. Well,
we were just having a discussion about what the ordinance said. He wanted to understand it, and I wanted to understand it also, and we wanted to confirm his solicitation actually was related to monetary gain at the point.
Right.
And
And again, I don't know if you heard my question. What gave you the appearance that he was soliciting? Was it just the setting up his band equipment?
yeah, he was just setting up the band equipment. We were having an art show on the other side of that green, and we had music playing over there as part of that art show. And so somebody made note that somebody was setting up to play music on the other side of the field, and it was something that we were unaware of taking place, that we didn't know if anybody was playing additional music in that venue. So we went over to talk to him to see exactly what his intentions were as far as potentially soliciting or playing music, just because we were already playing music across the field. So.
Right on. Yeah, I saw there were a lot of tents set up in the background there, the white tents.
Yeah.
And I saw.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I saw the following interaction with the police officers when they showed up. One of them was a musician himself.
Uh-huh.
Now let me ask, Rick, were there any other musicians at that festival?
No, there was somebody playing music as a part of the festival, as a part of the art show that was scheduled to be there to play music for the weekend. Yeah.
Okay, so there was another musical artist there, right?
Well, he was a part of the art show. Yes, he was scheduled as part of the vendors that were present for the art show.
Now, was the gentleman you encountered, his name's David, right? From what I understand. Was his music drowning out the other artists' music? Was that like something that...
He had not started to play at the point that I talked to him. And then by the time we discussed it and discussed what his intentions were and what he was wanting to do, the other artist was finishing up. So it was not an issue at the time.
Oh, okay.
He would have been, if they both continued to play, they would have been. He would have drowned him out. You could hear his music well over 100 yards or further, maybe several hundred yards away.
Alright, I had some technical difficulties and the rest of the conversation was not recorded. I basically explained to him that prior restraint is a crime, his position without knowing the ordinance. He was stopping this man from his First Amendment right to artistic expression. He got a little defensive and I explained to him, next time you see someone setting up band equipment, maybe just sit back and enjoy the music or before you try to stop them. But I think the main reason he came out is because somebody else was playing music at their little show there, and he wanted to stop Dovydas.
Is there a song you want to hear?
Man, anything. You know Little Wing?
Little Wing was one of the first songs I tried to learn, and it's very difficult. It starts off with a crazy hammer-on.
Lil Wing.
Man, I recognized you from across this whole field, man.
You're
I
kidding.
watched you on YouTube. Yes,
You
sir.
kidding? Holy shit, that's
Yeah,
so
you knew
cool.
guitar and everything. I sure did. As soon as I said, I know that guy. That's good, buddy.
Thanks.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. You play guitar?
I do.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got an American Professional strap.
Meanwhile, back in Sarasota, Florida,
And you're not going to be able to play your
Ridiculous. Really?
the restaurants or
Fucking
Gotcha.
kidding me?
You got good friends.
Really?
All right. Does the permit have like sound limitations? Does the permit describe sound level limitations?
Yeah, it'll have all different like times, decibel levels, all that stuff. And that way, if you get a permit and I come out here and check the noise meter,
Gotcha.
you're not in violation and you're good.
Cool, cool. All right.
Do you have your ID? I just need to write a report real quick.
Okay, yeah, I don't have my
No? Okay. You have anything
Go
with
find
your
a
name on it?
criminal to take up your
What's your
time!
name, hon?
I'll spell it for you.
You're wasting your time here!
Do you need to go to jail for disturbing the peace?
I'm just saying.
Don't scream like that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
D-O-V-Y.
D-O-V-Y.
D-A-S.
Sorry, Charlie.